My name is Priscilla Kumah. I originally come from Ghana. I work in USA as a registered nurse. I trained in Ghana before moving to America, and I'm the lead consultant for USRN Pathway Consult. And I am happy to be on Just for Women Africa today. Hello, everyone.
What motivated your decision to leave Ghana to practice nursing in America?
So I actually studied nursing in Ghana. I went to University of Ghana. For some years now, I've been living in the USA. I had to join my husband in the USA, and that is how I got here. And as usual, I would like to continue my career. I would love to practice. So I was able to take the licensure for USA. I became licensed in USA. I'm actively still licensed in Ghana as well. So I can practice in Ghana anytime I go to Ghana. And I've been practicing in the USA for some years now.
Why do nurses from African countries choose to practice in America and Europe?
There are so many factors involved, but the answer is very straightforward. One of them is monetary. The system is not working enough. Nurses are very underpaid. Some nurses do not even make $100 in a month. And most people who have finished nursing school, they can't find jobs. So lack of jobs and the salary is so small, people cannot survive on that. So the quest for greener pastures, the quest to change your story, the quest to be comfortable and set up a foundation for your children is the reason why there's mass exodus of nurses to this Western world. And it's been going on for some years, but for at least the past 3 years, more people are traveling, especially to the UK, because it's faster and the pay is better, the conditions are better. There are things you can work with. You have gloves in abundance. You have the material, the PPEs you can wear, the gowns and everything. They're available for you to work with. Some of our facilities back home in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, unfortunately, are not well equipped for nurses to even function at work. That poses a health risk. I can name so many reasons why people are traveling.
What should African nurses know before moving to America or Europe to practice?
Nursing is a profession, and no matter where you're practicing it in the world, you need a license to work. So obviously, they should have gone to an accredited nursing school. This is very important because there are some schools that you end up going to, especially the private ones, they don't have the accreditation. So at the end of the day, you cannot write a licensure for your country to even work. Make sure the nursing school you are going to or you've attended is accredited because it would play a role in your relocation process. So after you've gone to nursing school, you've graduated, you have the necessary documents and everything to show you are a registered nurse. You want to make sure you have some years experience, at least have somewhere you work in, some health clinic, some hospital, some doctor's office, and make sure you are documenting all that on your CV or your resume. And that work experience will also give you an upper hand. It's going to give you an urge when the recruiter is looking at your CV or they're employing people. So when you have that, then you have to look into what it takes to work in whatever country of your choice. You have to do a lot of reading, a lot of research, as much as what's the weather over there, what is the currency, what is the food around, what is the health system like, what is childcare. You have to do a lot of research. And then when you narrow down which country you want to go, then you go to their nursing council website and figure out what the process is. That's just the summary of it.
What are the different nursing levels in America?
The first step when you're a new grad, you are level one. When you're fresh from school, level one. In Ghana, the equivalent to be a nursing officer, a graduate from University of Ghana or Central University who is just out of school and working, you enter as a nursing officer. For here, when you're a new grad, you are RN level one. And then after some years, maybe 6 months or a year, you serve your probationary year, then you become level two. It varies from facility to facility. There are some nurses in the US here who don't even know there are levels to it. Everybody's just an RN. There are two types of RNs. When I say RN, I mean registered nurses. You either have an associate's diploma or you have a BSN, bachelor's degree. But at work, we don't even know who has associate. We don't know who has BSN. Everybody's a nurse. So there are levels. So as I said, new grad level one, after working some 6 months to 1 year, you become level two. Level three, you have to do a project. You have to join some committee. You have to make an initiative. You have to draft something. So I was in charge of safety and infection prevention. I had presentations, I was going for meetings, I was doing presentations, and then the level 3 RN was conferred or awarded onto me. That you have to work for. Unlike level 1 and 2, that is automatic, but 3 you have to work for. But there are some nurses who've never had their levels to it and they work in the USA. So it depends on the facility and the state where you find yourself.
How much do nurses earn at different levels in America?
So one thing about USA that two people hired on the same day with the same rank from the same school will have different salaries, which is surprising to people. And also the state you find yourself, in the city you find yourself. Somebody in New York State working in New York City will be earning more than somebody who is in Toledo, Ohio, because of cost of living where you find yourself. Somebody in Los Angeles, California will be earning higher than somebody who finds herself in Rochester, New York, even though they're in New York. And then the facility also depends, they decide whatever they want to give you. And as I said, two people from the same school, the same class, the same qualification will start the same day and have different salaries. It depends on what you put on your resume and what you bargain for in your interview when they're hiring you. I found this out because one lady and I started the same day and I realized we were earning different amounts. So for a new grad, somewhere in, let's say, upstate New York, you can start from like 35. The rates were bad. When I started, it was about $28 an hour. And then COVID happened. They realized the nurse is the core of the healthcare center. Like we are in the middle. They can't do without us. So they upped the rates. So these are market value evaluation, and then it went up to 35 an hour. Now I'm told new grads are starting at 45 an hour. I currently cannot say how much I earn anymore because now I am into travel nursing. It's a different ball game altogether. I make threefold the salary I used to make when I was a staff nurse. Staff nurse, you're at one place. You go to your 9 to 5, year 1, year 2, year 3. That is your job. You've been doing it for 10 years, the same office every day. Travel nurse, you're like an independent contractor. You sign it, you look for a job, you find a recruiter, you go to a facility, do 13 weeks, your contract ends, you stay at home, you're jobless. As I speak to you, I'm in between assignments. I don't have a job as I speak today, but I'm about to start a new one on Monday, and I'm going to go on a contract, do it, get in there, get my money, and get out. So you are not a staff of a facility. You are an employee of an agency. They send you to a hospital anywhere in the country where you have a license. You go there, you do your work and come out. Like LA now, there's fire, it's burning and all that. They need nurses there. So you just find a job, run there, go do your contract, get your money and go out. When there was COVID, a nurse was making $10,000 a week, working 60 hours or 6 days a week. The travel rates have dropped so low now. If you're lucky to have 2,500, 2,500 a week, and that is working about 26 hours. So it depends. So I can't even give you an exact figure, but if you are sitting at one place going to a regular job, you should be looking at maybe $45 an hour. Mind you, a regular staff nurse in California state is making between $90 to $120 an hour just being a staff, not doing travel, not doing contracts, just going to a regular place, because the cost of living in California is outrageous. The houses are $2 million, $3 million. So even with $90 an hour, $100 an hour, you're struggling to survive. So it depends on where you find yourself, the city you find yourself, the minimum wage of that city. Minimum wage in New York, I think, is about 15.25 or something. Minimum wage in Georgia is about 7.15, something like that. So it depends on your location, pretty much.
Is there an age limit for African nurses seeking to work in America or Europe?
There is no age limit to it. All I keep telling my nurses is that so far as you are fit, physically fit, you think you can stand on your feet for 12 hours, you think you can work night shifts, you think you can be running up and down, you can do it. I have nurses that were working retirement age in USA 65. They retired, they came back. One of them, Caroline, she's 75 years old. She still comes to work full time. So there's no retirement age. There's no until your body gives up or until you decide to. People enter nursing, they are 25 years old, they retire because they don't want to do this anymore. Some people are in nursing school. I met a 56-year-old man who is now in nursing school, third career. So he's going to be done maybe by the time he's 58. He's going to get his first job at 57. He can work till he can no longer work. retirement is 65. So there's no age limit at all, but so far as you think you are medically fit, you can be on your feet for 12 hours, 14 hours. You can be lifting patients, going up and down. And you think you can study. You're fit mentally, you are sharp to study and take the NCLEX, the licensure for USA nurses. I think you can do it. There's no age limit at all.
What are your thoughts on why African nurses are denied visas?
Okay, so I think when it comes to immigration, every country has the way they do their things and they have their own quota. So they say this year we want 100 skilled workers. If they meet that number, they cut it off there. They either say there's a backlog, there's a retrogression, or they move on. And also, everybody's case is different. I would go and I'll get the visa. The next person behind me will go and not get the visa. For instance, there was a health nurse I helped throughout the whole process. She went to the interview and she was denied. Come to find out, there's a backstory. Some time ago, let's say 2 years prior, she had already applied to that interview, that embassy with a different story, with a different background. She claimed she was an IT expert because there was a conference about IT and somebody added her name and whatever. So when she got there as an RN, they pulled out her history. Were you here 2 years ago? She couldn't even remember. She forgot. She's like, no, I wasn't here. Then they said on this day you showed up here that you're going for an IT conference because you are something, something. Your nursing school, you have a BSN. It's a 4-year program. So 4 years ago, you did a 4-year program. So you've been a nurse pretty much way before you came here as an IT something, and she was denied. But when that person is telling you the story, she's gonna say, I'm an RN, I'm a nurse. I went to embassy and I was denied. You wouldn't know this backstory. So you just say, oh, they are denying nurses. Then you go and tell your cousin, they are denying nurses. I know a nurse that was denied. She works with me. She's my neighbor. But it's a backstory. She put in a wrong information that came to bite her later on. She's like, I just a person, I even forgot I did the application. My husband said an IT conference and they put my name in there. So she's passed NCLEX. She's sitting in Ghana just because of that. So they are not denying nurses. I will not say they're denying nurses. They have the number of people, the skilled workers they want. Let's say they want 10 engineers, they want 10 nurses, 10 doctors. If they reach that number for that year, they get the quota, they close it over there. Somebody will be denied because of whatever information they put in there. You said you are single on one form, the other form you said you are married. Your name is missing Priscilla, the other form it says Princess. Your stories are not, the stories are so different. Based on that, they will deny you. So that's a whole sector for an immigration expert to guide you and tell you what to do. But nobody's out there to get nurses. Nobody's out there to deny nurses. It depends on what you feed them, from the information you feed them, and then you get that denial. But it is not that they're targeting nurses. But people are still getting visa every day. People are still coming in. So it goes both ways.
Should African nurses stay to serve their home countries or work abroad?
Little background to me. I spent 10 years of my life in Oyo State, Nigeria. I moved to Ghana later on for school and then now in the USA. I love Ghana, I love Nigeria. I still speak Yoruba 100%, just so you know. So I love both countries. I love the African country. But nurses who have finished school about 2020 and they are still home and we are in 2025. 5 years. Will you tell somebody like that to still stay home and be patriotic and waiting for the government to post them one day to a job? No. I will not tell you to stay home and be jobless when other countries need nurses. America is hiring. Australia, New Zealand, UK, they need nurses to come. Ireland. Will you tell your sister to stay home and be patriotic? Mind you, when we get over here, we get a lot of exposure. We make a lot of connections. We learn a lot physically. We see gadgets that we haven't. A lady went back after working in UK for years, went back and set up a nursing home in Ghana, and it's fully functional. That is somebody who has gone abroad, learned something, and come back home to replicate it, and now is serving the community. So many people are out here doing big things in the name of Ghana and making Ghana proud. There are so many professors I'm in touch with that are Ghana-trained professors. One just developed an app I'm about to bring onto my channel. She's developed an app that will be used in the in Ghana hospitals very soon. It's been launched. Apple has backed it. Everybody, it's fully functional app that would help transform healthcare in Ghana. So we are out here acquiring knowledge. For me, myself personally, for instance, it was through coming here that I got opportunity to go through the licensure process, realize that there's a lot of gap, lack of information. I did all my digging, all my research, and then that is how I got onto YouTube, started sharing information, and through that, UPC, my consults came to be, and now I'm helping nurses with their licensure. And that is another form of giving back to people back home. So yes, I will encourage anybody to travel if they have the desire, the interest, the patience, and the funds to do it. And then when you get here, don't forget to do something to impact society back home.